Medieval art includes a wide variety of art and architecture. Okay, medieval art is also known as the Middle Ages. Okay, from the fall of the Roman Empire through the early stages of the Renaissance in the 14th century. The work of art produced during this era emerged from the artistic heritage of the Roman Empire and the iconographic style of early Christian church, fused with barbarian culture of Northern Europe. The history and characteristic of medieval art. We have an example of the Madonna and Child with Saint Jerome and Saint John. Okay, the history of medieval art is expansive and covers a wide range of centuries and genres. This is prominent in European regions, the Middle East and North Africa, and some of the most precious examples of art from the Middle Age can be found mostly in churches, cathedrals, and other religious doctrines. And valuable materials used were gold for objects in churches, personal jewelries, backgrounds for mosaic, and applied as gold leaf in manuscripts. In the Middle Ages, neither begin nor end neatly at any particular date. Art historians generally classify medieval art into the following period: early medieval art, Romanesque art, and Gothic art. Early medieval art, we have an example of the mosaic on the floor of the Torricello Cathedral in Venice, Italy. This work of art was created between the 4th century and 1050 AD. At this time, the Catholic Church and wealthy oligarchs commissioned projects for specific social and religious rituals. Most of the oldest examples of Christian art survive in Roman catacombs or burial crypts beneath the city. Artists were commissioned for work featuring biblical tales and classical themes for churches, while interiors were elaborately decorated with Roman mosaic, ornate paintings, and marble incrustations. A large part of the art created during this time was also related to Byzantine work of the Eastern Mediterranean. This includes a variety of media, including the glass mosaic, wall painting, metalwork, and carved relief in precious materials. We also have the Romanesque art in 11th century. Okay, and this was initially developed in France, then spreading to Spain, England, Flanders, Germany, Italy, and other regions. As the first style to spread across Europe, and it symbolized the growing wealth of European cities and the power of church monasteries. Romanesque buildings were characterized by semicircular arches, thick stone walls, and durable constructions. Sculpture were also prevalent during this time, where stone was used to represent biblical subject matters, and church doctrines. We also have Gothic art. Okay, in 12th century. Okay, this was originated with the rebuilding of the Abbey Church in Saint Denis, France. Gothic architecture offered revolutionary structural advancements such as ribbed vaults, flying buttresses, and decorative pinnacles, all contributing to lighter building designs. Okay, we have an example of famous medieval art. We have Hagia Sophia. This is built in 537 AD, the beginning of the medieval period under the direction of Byzantine Emperor Justinian I. Though originally built as a Greek Orthodox Christian cathedral. And we also have the Lindisfarne Gospel. This is an illuminated manuscript and one of the finest examples of insular art, which combines Mediterranean, Anglo-Saxon, and Celtic elements. Another example is the Palatine Chapel that was completed in 804 AD as the remaining component of Charlemagne Palace of Aachen in present-day Germany. The palace itself no longer exists. It now acts as the central part of the Aachen Cathedral. Okay, the building is a domed chapel considered an exemplary vision of Carolingian architecture. Another example is an illuminated manuscript that of the Codex Arius Emiratum. This is produced for the Holy Roman Emperor Charles II and his Carolingian palace. At his Carolingian palace school in 9th century. This is decorated or richly decorated with gold lettering and highly colorful illustrations, and it is one of the few surviving treasured bindings from the period. We also have another famous medieval example, the Notre Dame Cathedral. This is the most famous Gothic cathedrals in Notre Dame construction that began in 1160 under the Bishop Maurice de Sully and has undergone many changes since then. With its use of the rib vault and flying buttress, complete with stained glass windows and iconic sculptural elements, the church is vastly different from the Romanesque style that preceded it. It has suffered damages and deterioration in the centuries that have passed since its original construction, most recently in 2019 when a fire broke out during a restoration campaign and destroyed the 19th century spire. Plans and funds to rebuild are already underway. Thank you.